Hey, what's up guys? We are back, and first of all I want to give a shout out to YouTube channel Nintendocade Gaming. Now the guys there, Danny and Evelyn, are super nice. I suggest you go check out their channel. They do a lot of streaming of Nintendo Switch games and Nintendo games in general. Great channel, fantastic and really high quality stuff. I suggest you go check them out. I'll leave a link to them in the description. Now, getting on to the information at hand, there is a new rumor coming out, this time from Easy Allies and their podcast. One of their members, Damiani, has shared a new rumor concerning Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. Now, before we get going any further, I'm going to go ahead and play the video outtake from that rumor.
Willing to like rethink everything.
Yes, I have heard.
Ooh, Damiani, here we go.
Reliable people that Game Freak was very anxious, or very nervous. I keep saying anxious. Very nervous about doing any kind of radical departure for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because they sell so well. Why would you mess with that?
And they haven't changed it.
There's no need
years.
to do it.
Yeah.
But apparently Breath of the Wild, its reception, and the reaction to Mario at E3, so overwhelmingly positive that it convinced them that they need to make the next Pokemon game as disruptive as those two games were. That's going to be as big of an innovation and a step forward for Pokemon as those were.
So there you have it. Basically what he's saying is that Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey have received such high praise and from E3 and from basically the reviews and Game of the Year nominations that Game Freak is considering on doing a similar thing with Pokemon for the Nintendo Switch, which would be taking the series in a brand new direction, possibly changing the way the game, possibly changing the mechanics of the game, possibly changing the way we think about Pokemon in general, maybe restarting the franchise in a new direction. We know that Breath of the Wild took the series in a completely new direction and making the game totally open world and changing some of the gameplay aspects of it, allowing you to explore the entire world from beginning to end without having any types of barriers to stop you. And of course in Mario Odyssey it's a similar situation. While the game is not completely open world, it is very sandbox-like, with Super Mario 64 as being a similar example. And they did add a lot of new features in Mario Odyssey with his hat and the capture mechanic, and just having a much more open experience than they did with previous Mario games. But basically what he's saying is that even though it's a rumor for now, he has heard from very reliable sources that this information could be correct, that the Pokemon team Game Freak is in fact trying to take Pokemon in a brand new direction that would be very exciting for the series. So of course maybe the immediate idea would be that Pokemon goes into an open world state where you can explore this vast world and have a completely 3D and all that stuff. Or it could be something totally different from Pokemon that we're used to. Maybe it's not an RPG anymore, maybe it's something different, maybe an action game with different characters with Pokemon. It remains to be seen, but it is definitely exciting to think about what kind of game Game Freak could make with the Pokemon series. We know that they've been making the same type of Pokemon game ever since they started, really. I mean, they've been making Pokemon games for years and years and years, and while the core gameplay has remained similar throughout each game, with some additions and some adjustments throughout time, this could be a perfect opportunity for them to really shake things up, but also not taking away the core essence of what Pokemon is and what gamers have come to expect from the series. Kind of similar to Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, while that game is not completely perfect, everyone will agree, there's a lot of additions to Zelda that will really benefit it going forward for future games in the series. But when you play the game, it still does feel like a Zelda game. So I think that's where they could take the series with Pokemon, make it still feel like a Pokemon game, yet take it in a new direction that people were not expecting, and perhaps even make it a pleasant surprise, whereas people really take a step back and say, wow, I didn't expect Pokemon to be like this. Because you know that with Game Freak, they have the opportunity to make a game that is much more technically advanced than what they could ever do on a 3DS and definitely the DS and Game Boy, things before that. And with the art style Pokemon, they could make a very large world that could be explored, and many different types of gameplay possibilities are there for them to take advantage of. With how limited 3DS and DS were, Game Freak really had to stay within the confines of those systems and their capabilities. They really couldn't go outside of that very much because the technology simply wasn't there for them to use. And we know they never made a console dedicated Pokemon game ever before, so this would be the first type of game like that you could play at home and on the go. And we know that they could take advantage of a console type atmosphere in that game that you could take with you on the go with the Nintendo Switch. So with a game like Pokemon, it already has a head start, doesn't it? Because Pokemon is already a well-established portable game. So to add the home console aspect of it into the portable type aspect and make it into this real big grandiose experience would be something I think they could easily do on the Nintendo Switch with Game Freak. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think there's any truth to this rumor that Game Freak is going to go all out and nuts on this game and make it something completely new for the Pokemon series and really advance the series forward? Or do you think they'll stick to the tried and true methods of Pokemon Sun and Moon and the just released Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. And again, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter please at smetaldave64, and I'll talk to you guys very soon in the next video. Have a great day.